So this is a Bailey Unicorn Cordoba. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. On the side of the van, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. They're both in the same location on either side, and you also have two coming from the rear of the van to stabilise the van at the rear. Going further down the side of the caravan, you have your water pump connection. The water pump connection very simply removes and pushes into the side of the van, as you can see, and the cap locks it in place here. You've got the pickup pipe that drops down inside the acque roll, and the acque roll needs to be fully filled prior to turning the water pump on. If you don't fill the acque roll fully and you haven't got the pump fully submerged, it could potentially cause an airlock in the water system. Aldi heating and hot water flue is there to do the same job as the flue on the side of your house regarding the heating and hot water systems. So you do need to make sure this is uncovered and fully open to allow it to breathe. On the side of the van, you then have your gas locker with your two gas bottle tie downs inside. The two gas bottle tie downs are very simply there, so you can carry a maximum of two 6-kilogram propane gas bottles. Then you've got your gas regulator on the side of the van, where you can connect the gas pipe, work up to and down to the gas bottles itself. You've then got the all-wheel drive auto-engage motor mover, which is very simply there to allow the van to be moved with the controller, and again we'll demonstrate this to you here on site. Two fridge vents on the side of the caravan are very simply there to allow the hot air out the side of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Behind one of them there is a gas flue when you're running the fridge on gas. You then have your electrical connection on the side of the van. Pull out the wire and push it into the side of the van to connect the power to the caravan, and that connects to the power on site. You then have your grey waste pipes which come out. So you then got your two grey waste pipes, as I said, which allow the wastewater out the side of the caravan. Coming towards the back of the van, you've got your two wind down legs on either side of the rear to stabilise the van. You've then got the toilet tank itself, toilet flush tank, sorry. So you open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Below that you have the toilet waste cassette itself. So you pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. You'll need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the set you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your storage locker for underneath one of the single rear beds at the back of the van. You've got a 3-pin socket so you can have power out to your awning, and also a telly connection here. Coming towards the front of the caravan, you've got a storage locker for underneath the front seating area, and you've got your barbecue gas point at the front. Going on to the inside now. Above the door, as you walk into the or next to the door, as you walk into the caravan, you've got your main power switch for the caravan, so you've got power on and off. You've then got your external and internal water pump, which I'll come back to in a moment. You've got your interior lighting and your awning light. At the top, you've got a voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan, and you've also got a level for your onboard water tank, which will come up with a percentage here between 0 and 100, depending on how much water is in that onboard tank. So to fill the water system up, you're first of all going to need to come underneath the seat on the front right-hand side of the caravan. And underneath this seat on the right-hand side, you will find just down the side of the water tank, just here somewhere, just down the side, which is quite hard to see in this video. But on the left hand side of the screen there, you'll see your yellow drain down valve. Now to fill the water system up, the yellow drain down valve needs to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment, and upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat to drain the water system down. Once you've got that yellow valve flat with the floor, you can come over to every tap on board the caravan and open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. Once all these taps are open on the hot side of the water system, you can then select whether you want to run your water pump from the external water supply, which is the acque roll on the outside, or you can choose to fill the internal water tank on board the caravan. Once you've got this filled, you can actually put this switch back in the central position to allow the water pump to run from either position. Sorry, you'll have it on the external, sorry, to allow it to run from either position. Once the water system is full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. And once you're at this point, you can shut all of the taps back off, and then you are ready to start warming the water on board the van. To do this, you have your control panel for the Aldi heating and hot water. So, come over to the control panel on the wall here. Turn the control panel on. I'm just going to change the colour of it so you can see what we're doing here. Oh. So, back to the menu screen, or the home screen. You've got an indicator here on the top right hand side, so you've got mains power coming into the van. And below that you've got the current room temperature, so that's the internal temperature of the caravan. If we hit the menu button, it will take us into the options for the van itself, or for the heating and hot water itself. So the top one here, you've got plus or minus for your heating and hot water. Obviously you've got that turned off today, but that goes up to 30 degrees. Below that you've got your water temperature for the caravan, so you've got hot water on and hot water boost when this bar is completely full. So hot water on and hot water boost. Below this you have the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So you've got off, 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts, depending on what caravan site you're on. If you're on a site with 1 kilowatt, you'd set it to 1 kilowatt. If you're on a site with 2 kilowatts available, you'd set it to 2, and the same with the 3. If you're off-grid and you want to use the heating and hot water from the gas, you very simply need to make sure the gas bottle is turned on. Hit the button here at the bottom and ignite the systems on board the van. If it fails to ignite on gas, it will come up with gas failure at the bottom of the screen here. Now you do have some advanced options in this control panel as well. However, for these we do advise you read the manual fully before you try to operate these, and if you're not sure on how to operate these, we advise you don't play with the settings. If you are confident with it, then by all means go ahead and play with the control panel further, but like I said, do read the manual fully first. So that's your heating and hot water on board the caravan. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances. You just need to remember, if you're off grid, you will have no mains power going to the hob for the electric ring at the back, and also for the microwave. Now at the moment it looks like the microwave is turned off. However, hit the eco button and the microwave will wake back up, as you can see here. You have your gas igniter on the front, as you can see here, for the hob, grill and oven also. Next up we're going to go to the fridge. Now the fridge is very simple to use as well. You've got your button for turning the fridge on here on the left hand side. At the moment the fridge is trying to ignite on gas. If it fails to ignite on gas, it's going to flash the red warning light on this right hand side here. It's also going to flash the blue warning flame, the blue flame symbol. So that is your warning to say it's failed to ignite. It'll also make a bleeping noise when it has failed to ignite. If you're on gas or mains, you can control the temperature of the fridge on this button on the right hand side here, and the more amount of bars you had lit up, the colder the fridge will be. Hit the 240 volt mode here and it will allow the fridge to warm up on it, cool down on either mains or gas as you want it to do. You've also got the option to run 12 volt mode. Now the 12 volt mode is the power supply from the car you are towing with, not the 12 volt supply from the car itself. So if you're towing down the road, for instance, what you can do is select the 12 volt mode, and that will essentially allow the fridge then to operate, if you have the right power source in your car, as a cool box while you're travelling. As you can see at the moment, it's flashing a red warning light here, and also flashing the triangle here, the battery symbol and the triangle symbol on the right hand side to indicate it is not working on 12 volt, but that is because we have no car connected at the front. If you want to operate the freezer temperature at the top here, you need to press the freezer button just here, then use the button on the right hand side here to control the freezer temperature, then turn off the option for the freezer. Once you've set that, it will cool to that temperature that you have set it to. The battery in this particular van will be underneath the floor, as you can see here. Then as we come through into the back of the caravan, we have the toilet system. So you have an electric flush on the toilet, as you can see here. So you press the button to flush. Red indicator light will illuminate here when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure this toilet is back in the central position. And below the toilet you have your grey waste handle for when you're using the toilet, for when the toilet is being used. You need to open up the flap, and then in the closed position when you're not using the toilet. You also need to have this flap in the central position when you are emptying the toilet waste cassette on board the caravan. One last thing I'm going to show you is where the fuses are for the caravan. The 240 volt fuses for the caravan itself. So underneath the fridge you'll see you have a small cabinet down here. Now at the bottom you have your 12 volt fuses for the 12 volt systems on board the caravan, and above that you have your household 240 volt trip switches. Now if you're on site and you're not sure if you've got power coming into the caravan, you can hit the test switch here on the end, and when this switch drops down into the bottom position as it is done now, it means there is mains power coming into the caravan. If it stays in the upright position, as you can see here, it means there is no mains power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So I do advise you use that as a check to make sure you have got that full power level available. So this is the Bailey Unicorn Cordoba. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site again soon. Thank you again. Bye bye.